I don't know. I truly don't know what I just witnessed. What started as a campaign to give us an espionage thriller in the Marvel Universe, a semi-serious miniseries with sophistication and Olivia Colman, has turned into an easy-to-forget Disney Plus TV show that ended with a bobbed-out Emilia Clarke showing off a Drax bicep. Lord, give me strength. Lord Jesus. Right off the bat, best performance goes to Olivia Colman. She's fucking phenomenal. She's an Oscar winner, honey. And no matter what project you throw at her, she's gonna turn it out. But I need to get something off my chest immediately. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson. That was not a good performance from Samuel L. Jackson. I know he's got a very specific, niche way of playing Nick Fury, but I didn't like what he gave in this show at all. Not one bit. So many scenes, I would cringe, bitch, and pull back and say, what did he just say? What did they write him to say in this show? Because what they intended to give is definitely not what they're giving. It's far from what they're giving. I know he's doing the best with what he's being given, but there were times where not only did I think he was checked out, but he was giving a caricature of himself, Samuel L. Jackson, playing Nick Fury. Now, that might be the signs of a very talented actor, but you can get meta as meta as meta as meta can get, and I just did, whatever it was, I didn't like it. This is water off his back, because I'm sure he got paid a pretty sparkly penny to be in this show. I mean, what is my opinion to this man? He don't care. But Samuel, from one actor to another, what the fuck was that? I just expected more from him, especially when Nick Fury is the center of the show. Kingsley Ben-Adir did what he did, but I will say he showed off some solid acting chops in the final episode. Finally, in 6 out of 6, they give him something to work with. I just hope his next project, and I'm looking at you, agent of Kingsley Ben-Adir, I hope you give him something good to where he can truly show off his range. Where the writing is serious, and if there is comedy, the comedy is funny. Secret Invasion feels completely disconnected from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's as if it was written without anybody reading the comics or watching the movies. I mean, they killed off a main character in the first episode and then had the gall to list them as a special guest star in every single episode after that, even though she didn't make one single appearance in the entire runtime. The bitch wasn't in it, she was dead! It's not a good adaptation, and it certainly could have been a movie. It could have been a pair of movies. You had good material to work with, but instead, you gave us 6 hours that I'll never get back. And then the final scene is Fury and Priscilla, I don't remember her scroll name because I couldn't be bothered to remember it, walking off into what I assume is a saber elevator up to the heavens, you know, turning into the silhouettes, that classic old picture. I don't know what in the early 2000s AI artificial intelligence is going on. No setup for the Marvels, which comes out in November, and no end credits scene. Can't even do us the courtesy of tying us into the bigger picture, even in the last 10 seconds of the thing. I can't. They put these writers in a room and said, okay, imagine a spy flick, but make it Marvel. Okay, that's step one. Now, you don't get access to the comics or the movies. We're going to lock you into a room. Actually, we'll give you the convoluted plan for the next phase of Marvel, but you don't have to worry about it too much. You don't really have to connect the dots. It's a 6-episode miniseries that will be released weekly, starring Snakes on a Plane, Samuel L. Jackson, Olivia winner, Olivia Colman, who's also an Oscar winner, Aussie icon Ben Mendelsohn, and fresh off of Game of Thrones, one of the biggest television shows in history, Emilia Clarke. Oh, and we're going to give you a $220 million budget. Just go to town. Go. These writers played a little too damn hard in that sandbox because they got buried in all their ideas. So buried they forgot where they started. They sat around and said, let's kill off main characters. Let's muddle up the timeline with Skrull Rhodey. We'll have people spiraling until we can release Loki in October. There's so many theories. And let's play with power dynamics just a little bit more and give Emilia Clarke's character not just all the Avengers powers, but powers of really anybody else that was at the Endgame fight. Why not? And throw in Mantis in there so we can just piss off James Gunn even further for ditching us and going to DC. My God, I really don't know what these people were thinking. Were these creative decisions? Were these studio decisions? Because they already lost a ton of people at the beginning of this year alone with Quantumania. It was a disaster. And now this? See, we didn't need more Marvel homework. We need quality entertainment. They've got to get their vision on track. They struck gold with Loki Season 1 and WandaVision, but they've continued to make misstep after misstep. Loki Season 2 is due out in October, and the Marvels out in November. Now, they scrambled to put out a Loki Season 2 trailer today, Monday, July 31st, because they knew just how much of a misstep Secret Invasion was. It just ended last Wednesday. Loki has been the best show they've made, which is insane considering his character is over 10 years old in the MCU. And we're still invested. It just goes to show how good Tom Hiddleston is. It just makes me think if they can produce something like Loki that feels original, it doesn't feel generic by any means, it's got a vision, it's got intention, then what the fuck is everyone else doing on every other Marvel project? We didn't have a joint Zoom meeting. We didn't have a meeting with Kevin. What are we doing? We're all just sitting in our own corners, devising something that we think other people will like. And then when we sit back and watch the final product, yeah, this is ready for release, yeah. And no offense to the cast and crew that worked on these projects. You worked hard, you did your thing, you were just taking directions from the top. Actually, I don't even know who you were taking direction from, because I think even the directors were confused on what they were doing. So I'm watching the Loki trailer, Season 2, and I see Ke Huy Quan, and I think finally, thank you. A project making the right decision. I said he should have been in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny because, hello, he's short round, but didn't put him in it. And the showrunners on Loki said, let me get this man before he's booked for the rest of his career. So 2 more Marvel projects coming this fall, and now it's more and more possible with every passing day that these projects will be pushed back as a result of these greedy-ass corporations not settling with SAG-AFTRA. And I know it's already started to hit their bottom line. They're scrambling. They're nervous. Even though some bitches are coming out and saying, we're just going to let this thing play out. Let people get homeless. And then we'll start making the big decisions. So these studios better get together and start treating their writers and actors with the respect they deserve. Because clearly they need some creative help. Is it the executives that should be making the decisions? Not so much. We're all so tired. We're tired of movies and TV shows that give us nothing. Again, no disrespect to the cast and crew who worked on this. I just need to speak my piece. I'm unimpressed. Secret Invasion simultaneously gets caught up in Marvel projects of the past while not taking into consideration the future. It's confusing, unserious, and not worth a rewatch. I give Secret Invasion stay away. Yeah, I said it. Didn't even get a hot shirtless moment from Kingsley. Please go. I can't talk right now. I'm too pissed off.